Dart School presents Rounding Off. You must be knowing that a decimal number or a number in the base 10 system comprises of the units digit or the ones digit on the far right, followed by the tens digit or the tens place, and then the hundreds, and then the thousands, and so on. So the number 1, 2, 3, 4 is called 1200, 3 tenths, that's a 34. And let's say you want to round this number to the nearest 10. Nearest 10. We have a 3 in the tens place, which means this number is between 1230 and 1240. And our job is to find out which of those two numbers, 1230 or 1240, is closer to this number. And if you think about the number line, and because we want to change it or round it to the nearest 10, you only want to think about the tens. So you have 20, 30, 40, and so on. That's 1220, 1230, 1240, and so on. Now this number 34 is somewhere here. Because the next digit is a 4, it's closer to the 30 than to the 40. Therefore the nearest 10 is going to be 1230. Similarly, if you were to change this same number or round this same number to the nearest 100 this time, nearest 100, which means you only want to think about the hundreds, 1100, 1200, 1300, and so on. And now if you look at the hundreds place, it's a 2 out there and the next digit is a 3. That means it's closer to the 1200 mark than to the 1300 mark. So we would say the nearest or the closest 100 to this number is 1200. And let me just be more accurate by putting the arrowheads on the number line to indicate they go on forever and ever on both sides. Okay, so how do you do this without drawing these number lines? You look at the number that you want to round. So you want to round to the nearest 10, you look at the tens place. That's a 3. Everything to the left of that digit stays the same. So you have 1, 2. The next digit after this one actually determines whether this is going to be a 3 or a 4. If the next digit is 5 or more, the 3 is rounded up to a 4. Round up. On the other hand, if the next digit is 4 or less, you keep the same digit. Keep it same. In this case, the next digit is a 4, and therefore the 3 should stay the same, and then after the digit that you have rounded, everything turns to a 0. Let's apply the same steps in rounding this number to the nearest 100. This is the hundreds place. Everything to the left of it stays the same, so you start with a 1 and then make a decision based on the next digit after that. This is 3, therefore the 2 stays the same, so we have 1, 2, and then everything after that is 0. How about rounding, let's say 40,716 to the nearest 10, to the nearest 100, to the nearest 1000, and let's also say to the nearest 10,000. Let's start with the nearest 10. We have a 1 in the tens place. Everything to the left of it stays the same. So we have 407, and then the one after this is a 6. So we round up. So the 1 changes to a 2. And then the 6 changes to a 0. Everything after the digit you round changes to zeros. So to the nearest 10, this is going to be 40,720. To the nearest 100, we have a 7 in the hundreds place. Everything to the left of it stays the same. Make a choice. The digit after that is a 1, so you keep it the same. 7, 0, 0 for the 1 and 6. So this is 40,700 to the nearest 100. How about the nearest 1000? The 0 is in the thousands place. To the left of it we have a 4, and then the 0 changes to a 1 because we have a 7 after that. 5 are up, and then everything changes to 0 after this place. So you have 41,000, that's to the nearest 1000. And finally to the nearest 10,000, this is the 10,000s place. There's nothing before it, so let's not worry about it. The digit after that is a 0, so it stays a 4, and everything is a 0 after that. So this is 40,000. So as you can see, the same number, depending on to which digit you are rounding, can have different answers to the rounding problem. Let's look at a word problem now. Alan bought some goods and articles worth 68 Rand, 105 Rand, 75 Rand and 29 Rand. Find his total spending to the nearest 10 Rand. So all you need to do is add these numbers up and round them to the nearest 10. Let's go. 68 plus 105 is 173. I just added 100 and added another 5. Plus 75 is 248. I used the compensation method of addition. I changed the 173 to a 175 and then added 75. That got me to 250, and then I subtracted 2. That's 248. Plus 29 is 278 minus 1. That's 277 Rand. So yet again I used the compensation method of addition to add the 29 in the end. I added 30, I subtracted 1. And then we want to round this to the nearest 10 Rand, which means round it to this place. Everything to the left of it stays the same. So this is going to be 200 something Rand. The digit after this is 5 or more. It's a 7. So this changes to a 8, and this 7 changes to a 0. So the nearest 10 Rand is 280 Rand.